You guys, welcome back to King Oles. And yes, obviously, last night, the day of reckoning happened where obviously we saw in our main event Anthony Joshua versus Otto Wallin, and in our co-main event, Deontay Wilder versus Joseph Parker. We've seen obviously from last night, Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder is now officially off due to Deontay Wilder losing to Joseph Parker. Obviously, AJ got the job done in absolutely fantastic style against Otto Wallin. Really happy about that. Let's go, AJ. It was a fantastic performance by him. But yeah, Deontay Wilder looked extremely flat and did not throw at all and completely bottled the Anthony Joshua fight. And, you know, I'm going to go into detail about those two fights. Well, basically the whole aftermath of it all now, the main event and co-main event, of course, done. I haven't gone into detail about what the situations are now about what's next for AJ, really, and what happens with Wilder now. And I feel like AJ looks like he's back. We'll talk about AJ first. AJ looks like he's back, to be completely honest with you. It was a fantastic performance last night against Otto Wallin. I feel like AJ, what he did really well was, you know, we saw, AJ box well. Like, he was boxing well, staying behind the jab well, really setting his right hands up well with the jab. And, you know, that's what we want to see from AJ. So he was staying cautious and he was boxing, but he was also really explosive as well, letting that right hand go. And, you know, it's something that we haven't seen from Anthony Joshua a lot recently. I have always said, though, and most people have said that Wilder beats Anthony Joshua. I've always said explosive Anthony Joshua, so like the AJ that we saw yesterday, beats Deontay Wilder even when Wilder's at his best. I still believe it 100%, especially after last night. I feel like AJ makes even easier work out of Deontay Wilder. If AJ was fighting Wilder yesterday, in my opinion, AJ would have won that fight inside 5 rounds. Honestly, AJ would have won that fight inside 5 rounds if that happened yesterday. And I still think Joshua beats Wilder even when Wilder's at his best, in my opinion. I honestly do. I honestly think AJ is quite a lot better than Deontay Wilder, to be completely honest with you. But yeah, I think for Deontay Wilder, what's next for him? I think for Deontay Wilder, I think he should fight Ngannou because I think that's, you know, the best fight out there for Deontay Wilder that actually brings money to it. And I do think Wilder can actually beat Francis Ngannou, to be honest with you. I do. But yeah, I think for Deontay Wilder, he's going to be taking these big money fights. Still, I don't really see him going to warm his career back up again, fighting like an easier opponent or something. I see Deontay Wilder only really taking these big money fights. He's 38 now. I don't really think he can fully rebuild his career. He's not going to be able to do what AJ's doing at the moment, and that was, you know, he's got AJ's now 3 wins on the bounce. And, you know, Joshua's rebuilded his whole career in 2023. That's what 2023 has been about for Joshua. We'll get on to what Joshua's next steps could possibly be in a minute. But yeah, for Deontay Wilder, he's 38. Take the Ngannou fight. That's your big money fight. And I feel like it is winnable for Deontay Wilder, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't think Deontay Wilder has the time on his hands to, you know, do what AJ's doing and rebuild his career. So, yeah, and I just feel like after getting absolutely scored like what Parker did to him last night, I don't think Deontay's really got it anymore. So I feel like Deontay should take that one last big payday against Francis Ngannou and then, you know, retire because, you know, he would have had some massive money, to be honest with you. So, yeah, fair play on that side of things. But Deontay Wilder, I've always said he's overrated. I've always said Deontay Wilder is massively overrated and that AJ always beats him and that Usyk would beat him as well because I've seen so many people saying that Wilder beats AJ and Usyk. No way. No way. Even before last night, I was saying AJ and Usyk both beat Wilder. I've always said Wilder's overhyped and Parker massively exposed him last night. To be honest with you, massively exposed him. Fair play to Parker. It's a great performance. But obviously, I do want to say, I think I forgot to mention, I'm not sure if I did mention, but yeah, they were meant to announce Joshua and Wilder last night. That's not happening anymore. Joshua, I mean, I think he's got bigger and better things to do. I think Joshua's got bigger and better things to do now, in my opinion, than that Wilder fight. I think you know, Wilder's Wilder's fight to look at now is a Francis Ngannou fight. I think that's it for Wilder, and I do think that fight does bring a lot of attention, to be honest with you, to the boxing world. I think for Joshua, I think he should fight Filip Hrgović next. And, I said it in a video that I made earlier with my brother. Joshua and Filip Hrgović, both for number 1 and number 2 in the IBF. Obviously, Fury and the winner of Fury and Usyk have to relinquish that title, vacate it. And then I think Joshua and Hrgović will probably end up fighting for that title April or May. I don't really think there's any other options for Joshua. I think get right onto that title fight against Hrgović, especially after last night as well. Joshua should just go for that world title fight, especially if he performs like that. I think Joshua absolutely wrecks Hrgović. I think Joshua beats Hrgović easily, and Hrgović didn't look great against Mark Demori. Check my review out for Hrgović and Mark Demori if you haven't already. But yeah, Joshua absolutely wipes the floor of Hrgović, in my opinion. And then for Joshua, I think his next step after he probably beats Hrgović, I think what Joshua should do is, I feel like he's going to probably be hoping that Fury beats Usyk, because I think Joshua beats Hrgović, Fury then beats Usyk in that first fight, if that happens. Then I think what Saudi Arabia might do is they might pay Usyk off a lot of money, and then they'll get Joshua Fury on. That's what I think. Even though, look, I do think Usyk will beat Fury, and I hope he does as well. Even though it would be in a good way if Fury wins, it would be good because obviously as an Anthony Joshua fan, I want to see Joshua fight Fury. That's the fight it's a fight that AJ wants, so I want to see Joshua fight Fury. But yeah, look, it'll be interesting. There's positives and negatives in both ways. If Usyk beats Fury, then Fury's been beaten. Thank God for that, and let's go Usyk. Fair play to him. But if Fury wins, then my man AJ gets the big Fury fight, which I do think is actually winnable for Joshua, to be fair. After seeing Fury's last performance and seeing AJ last night and seeing what AJ was able to do to Wallin and seeing how much Fury struggled against Wallin. So I do think the Fury fight's a winnable fight for AJ. I think, last night really interesting as well. Is Wilder overall overhyped? That's what I want to say before I end. Is Wilder's overall record overhyped? I mean, his record is overhyped, but he's been overhyped by many, in my opinion. He's been overhyped by many, to be honest with you. I feel like, I just feel like for Wilder, every time he stepped up onto that, two world-class fighters in Tyson Fury and Joseph Parker, he's lost, and he's lost very convincingly in those 3 fights where he's fought, in those 3 fights that he's lost. Every time Wilder stepped up. So, who's Wilder actually beaten who's half decent, though? So, I think it's safe to say Wilder is overhyped. He's massively overhyped by so many people. And I've always seen through it. I know I'm bragging a little bit about it, but I've always seen through that Deontay Wilder's massively overhyped. Always seen through it, to be honest with you. And I've always said AJ beats him. And I think after last night, it's clear. But yeah, look, it's a shame that AJ Wilder's off. It's a massive shame it's off. That would have been a massive fight for boxing. But yeah, it's off. Wilder's bottled it for us. But, I'm happy that AJ is able to get that world title shot and become a 3-time world champion. But yeah, AJ should fight Hrgović for the IBF title. Wilder should fight Ngannou and then retire. That's what I think. Anyway, I'm going to this video here. Thanks for watching the video, King. I'll speak to you in a bit. Thanks for watching. Peace out.